The fuck was that sound? Oh, what? The subject being traveling, living life, experiencing things. One thing that I experienced in the last year was I moved across country. I moved to San Francisco, California. There were parrots there. There were a lot of different things that I experienced that I never thought I would experience before. But I will say, first and foremost, this place was a dystopia. I'm now learning that most cities after the pandemic have taken a big downpour and are really messed up currently. However, we know that they can rebuild, but I don't see that happening with San Francisco anytime soon. I was there, I was paying $3,000 to experience that place. $3,000 for 600 square feet. The city was exciting to say the least. However, it was also dirty, messy, not taken care of, run down, abandoned. Drug use was rampant. Obviously, homelessness was rampant as well. And it taught me, my stay there taught me a lot of things that I needed to learn. My stay there taught me a lot about the world that we live in. And it also taught me to not take things for granted and to really be grateful for where I am, no matter where it's at, and be grateful for what I have, because around the country and around the world is not the same for everybody. You know, you can be paying $3,000 for 600 square feet and you walk outside and you see the same person laying on the street every day, you know? Or you see that these people have to use the bathroom on the sidewalk. Or you see that there's little kids on the corner next to you selling drugs to the homeless people around you. And that's what I was experiencing a lot when I was in San Francisco. Like, again, it is a city, so a lot of things of that come with being a city. But at the end of it, it wasn't crucial for growth. I saw this one man who lived on the street, right? He lived in a tent. However, I would see him pop up random parts of the city in cars and doing other things. I come to find out, homie who actually works. He has a full-time job. He just prefers living on the streets because the rent where he lives, San Francisco, we were on Market Street, was so high, and it was really high. So it was just not a place that was economically sound or resource based. For example, I couldn't find a meal under $20. The one meal I did find under $20, it was like $16.75, so close to that, and it was a piece of chicken and some French fries. Like, it was really good, and I knew the people that owned the place, but it was $20. It was $20. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of scary. Like, in a place where you need to have money if you want to be comfortable, honestly. If you want to be comfortable. But again, that's in most cities. I've been hearing, like, in New York, but at the same time, this isn't New York. This is 100% not New York. San Francisco is a tiny place. It's just not, it's very small. You could walk from one end to the other. Like a lot of cities, it's been affected by COVID pretty severely, but also just it's overpriced. So a lot of places were closed down, or the mom and pop shops were closed down, There's graffiti everywhere, you know what I'm saying? Trash, poop, you name it, you know. Obviously, it was a beautiful place, and like the architecture was so nice. I that's one of my favorite parts of it was the architecture was so beautiful. I've never seen anything like it. It had a lot of Spanish influence, and I'm from Ohio, so I've never seen that type of architecture or that type of detail in such massive buildings. Flora, it was crazy. I've never seen palm trees that big. Never seen places like look like that. That's what I loved about it. But you only can do that kind of stuff so much. You gotta work most of the time, just like anywhere. Everyone's trying to climb up the social ladder, climb up the financial ladder. It's interesting, honestly. No regrets. I would do it all again. I learned a lot. Life will teach you before it kills you. Life will teach you before it kills you. And I learned a hell of a lot. Every day, I would watch the police push the homeless people out of the touristy areas down to the areas that had, I would say, the most minorities. I'm not gonna lie to you, like compared to other areas, they would always push the homeless people away from the touristy areas, and that would usually be in the deep inner city. It's very interesting. You didn't see many tents. Maybe there was a couple streets with a lot of tents, but you didn't see a lot of tents on the everyday. You saw just people hanging out all day. Some with animals, some without animals. I think it was a very interesting place. It was like a free for all almost. You felt like you were untouchable when it came to doing what you wanted because the police didn't do anything, but also the police weren't doing anything to help either. So it was free for all in two ways, and not all of them were good. A lot of the office buildings were completely empty because everyone works from home now, and they can't fill the office buildings. So anyway, the parks were interesting. They were heavily policed, but the security guards would roll up fronto leaves next to you and hang out with you. So it was kind of interesting depending on where you went. The port was very beautiful. They had a lot of interesting touristy attractions, all pretty pricey, but that's life nowadays. I suggest. I mean, I guess. A lot of theft. What they didn't tell you is at night, all the people who were stealing, I guess, were selling that stuff on the streets. I never understood what people were selling on the streets because I would walk past and I'm just like, why the fuck all these streets got people selling stuff on it? And then I heard later that all that stuff was stolen merchandise, which is pretty interesting because they have a law where if it's under, if you're stealing like under, I think like 500, 5,000, maybe 1,000. I don't know. I should probably look it up, but I don't live there no more. You won't be prosecuted. So people regularly steal, and the owners can't do anything about it because it's like under a certain amount. There's no prosecution. So why even call the police at that point? Similar to the drug use. The mayor did that so they could focus on real like hard crime instead of fighting petty thieves and drug users, but it just led to a decline in the social element of town. Every local I spoke to was like, I'm sorry because it used to be really nice and it's very run down now. It's just been going to crap ever since the tech guys came in. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It was just the same old story every time, but that's the law of the West, I guess. A lot of the parks were beautiful, right next to very old high schools, I guess. what they were saying about the tech guys is they would move in, and then that would raise the prices. And then the tech guys now, because they can work from home, they moved out, and now what it leaves is prices really high, but there's no one there to keep the place running because they all went to work from home. I learned the next time I want to travel or the next time I want to do anything like that, I want to be able to do it on my own accord. That's kind of stuff you got to experience by yourself, honestly. Like even going to a music park for the first time. I feel like that's another thing. You should do that by yourself before you invite others. Overall, I would say living in San Francisco was an eye-opener for me. I've always wanted to live in California, however, this was a precursor. Link in bio, K.O.R.L. Check out the shop. I just want to say thank you for coming. Thank you for supporting. I have one more video to drop about this podcast series. Be sure to check out my store, K.O.R.L. Be sure to check out my Instagram, K.O.R.L. on Instagram. I appreciate y'all for being here. Make sure to stay frosty and always believe in yourself.